Hey team, I'm Crystal, and today we're going to take a look at how to perform a dumbbell squat and press. So this is what it looks like. One, two, three. This is also what it looks like. One, two, and so on. So when we break that down, benefits of our exercise: full body integration, high metabolic demand. We're gonna set up by bringing our feet wider than our hips, heels parallel, and turning our toes out slightly. We're gonna then rack our weights up. So our dumbbells are in front of our shoulders, elbows in tight, big brace through our belly. From here, we're gonna perform our squat by sinking into our heels, pushing our hips back and down, keeping our chest up, and bringing our elbows forward of our knees. We're then gonna push the heels into the ground, standing tall, performing the press, biceps to the ears, stacking our hips under the ribs at the top, and then returning to the rack position as we come into that next squat. All the way down, all the way up is 1 rep. Common faults in this exercise. So the first big common fault is that we see people try to separate the squat and the press. So they'll perform the squat and then they'll perform the press. When we do this, we are actually separating the movements, so we're not getting that big metabolic kick that we're looking for, because we've now created more of an isolation of two different exercises rather than a big high metabolic demand full body integration exercise. So we want to make sure that we're putting it together and we're creating momentum here by pushing the hips back, pushing the hips forward, so that that's going to generate power all the way through the body. It's going to help us expend more calories, and it's also going to help us push in and out of every rep at a more efficient level. So you definitely want to look out for that, because each rep should be fluid and it should kind of float into the next one. The next big common fault that we see in the squat and press is what we call excessive lumbar or thoracic extension. So as we start to build momentum, what tends to happen at the top is we lean back from the momentum because we can't control it. Instead of stacking the spine nice and straight and the hips directly under our ribs, big squeeze through our belly, big squeeze through our booty. So we want to look out for leaning back. As we stand up, we're pushing the ground away. So we're literally radiating energy from the ground up, and we have a strong set up here from the shoulders to the hips to the ankles. Everything should make a nice straight line at the top, because when we're deliberate in our movements, we're able not only to burn more calories, but build lean muscle at an accelerated rate, which is pretty cool. Our progression and regression strategies in this exercise. The first one is going to be load. So the heavier your dumbbell is, or your dumbbells are, the more challenging this exercise will be. The lighter they are, the less challenging. If you find that you just can't hold on to the dumbbells anymore, you can absolutely reduce intensity even more by just putting the dumbbells down, same exact movements, all the way down, all the way up. So we're building in the exact same muscle areas as well as joints. And then when you've built up your fitness levels, we can then add those dumbbells later on in our training program when it's appropriate. The next way we can increase or decrease intensity in our movements is going to be the range of motion of that squat. So the lower we can get in the squat, the more muscle fibers that we're going to engage and fire up through our lower body, and that's going to give us a bigger metabolic kick as well as help us build more strength. And then the third way that we can manipulate intensity here is acceleration of our movements or increasing or decreasing speed. So if we want to make this a little bit more challenging for our heart and lungs, we can start to speed up the squat and press once we've mastered technique, range of motion, and we have a good solid weight choice. And if we're starting to find we're breathing really heavy, we've been in the red zone for a really long time, we can absolutely reduce that intensity by slowing down our movements, but once again, maintaining quality of movement throughout every single rep. And that is how to perform a dumbbell squat and press.